Bonjour, peeps. Hi, this is Neshi and Minnie Kansman for the daily card draw live stream here on Star Nation's organization's main fan page. And in the background, you'll hear George, puppy George, and also Minnie's sister Anne, who is Auntie Anne, is taking care of George.
Feeding him treats. Yes.
Yeah, so today's Friday, September 21st. And so welcome to the live stream. We're broadcasting, of course, from the Star Nations Academy, where we're going to be teaching our class starting tomorrow, The Magic of Hogwarts. Can't wait. Can't wait. And I tell you what, we're going to be setting up the classroom. We're taking down the studio and setting up the classroom as soon as we're done with the live stream. And so I won't be doing the live stream on Saturday and Sunday because I'll be teaching.
Should be teaching.
I'll be teaching. Hey, Margaret Spooner, thanks for joining. I'm so glad you're with us. Today's card draw is, we're still using this deck, Pathway to Healing Cards by Brian L. Weiss, MD. It's like, yes, he is a medical doctor. And for those who don't know Dr. Weiss, he is a trained medical doctor, Western medical doctor. He's a psychiatrist, a psychotherapist, and he uses hypnotherapy. And he's got like decades of experience with hypnotherapy. And what he found through his clients, his patients, is that they were actually going to past lives.
Right.
And
we're reading that.
Yeah. And there was one lady, one of his patients, he thought she was talking about a past life, and she was actually talking about a future life. Or decisions that could lead one of two directions. And that's how he got to the calling it progressive hypnotherapy. But he designed these cards based on both the past life and the future life references. And so today's card is, deep within me is a solid core of calm and peace. That's a good mantra, don't you think? Especially in those moments when you're not feeling calm and peace. Deep within me is a solid core of calm and peace. And the flip side, don't let people or outside events determine your peace of mind.
Yes.
George agrees. Hey, Jackie. Hi, Jackie. She's waving at us. So good you're with us this morning, Jackie. And so when we're talking about calm and peace, what is that? Where does it take your thoughts, your feelings when you hear that?
It takes me, like the word inner core comes to mind. It's like, if I can just stay peaceful in that place, then no matter what's going on around, I can handle that, because I can come back to that reservoir. It's like you hold it and build it as a reservoir, so you can go back to it in an inner space.
Yeah,
inner calm.
And where I think that it matters most, because most of us can have peace and calm when we're in meditation or when we're at retreats or something like that, because it's easy. It's in those moments, those times when you're kind of the eye of the storm, and that's when we know that we're no longer just practicing, we're actually being it. Because you can affect the space around you when you draw on that core.
Right. You can help other people calm down if they're going through the storm and the fury, if you're just in your peace, in your core.
Right. Exactly. Hey, Elise Miller, good morning.
Hi,
and
Elise.
Rochelle joined us. Good morning, ladies. Usually George sleeps through the shows.
But he has 3 people here now, so life is different.
Yeah, and oh, by the way, today isn't today Friday? Yes, it is. Did I say Thursday? I
don't know. You said the right date.
I said the right date.
I know that.
Oh my goodness. So, and by the way, yesterday's live stream, thank you for understanding when I had to abruptly end the live stream yesterday. Oh my gosh. And it's a good thing I did. Otherwise, I'd been cleaning up a mess. And so thank you for being patient with that. I appreciate it. So the peace and calming. This is the card that came this morning. Deep within me is a solid core of calm and peace. Backside says, don't let people or outside events determine your peace of mind. Your peace of mind. So what I think of as an example is sometimes when you have family events, whether it's the holidays or somebody's birthday or family reunion or something like that, sometimes that is an opportunity, we'll call it, to practice and put it into an application, what you know how to do. Because sometimes you have those family members who know exactly which button to push.
Yep.
What to say, how to say it, how to look at you.
Right. It doesn't even have to say anything. It just look.
And for me, what it reminds me of is my connection to Grandmother Earth. Because when I'm grounded to her, I'm much more stable and balanced and calm. And then the connection to Grandfather Sky is about that being connected, that divine energy running through you, right? And so that's that peacefulness. And so that's what that reminds me of. And so whenever I'm feeling that not so peaceful, not so much calm, is I turn my thoughts and bring an image of Grandmother to me, and it's helpful. It's helpful. Yeah. Do you have a method that you do?
Well, I've been working with the tapping method a lot lately, and found that that's been very helpful with family stuff. And even if I just tap, at the collarbone and say, even though I'm going through blah, 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 I still love and accept myself. I love and accept myself. Even though this person's driving me crazy, I love and accept myself. And, even just tapping in the one spot. I mean, I know if you know tapping, there's a whole series that you do. But for me, and it's very unobtrusive. Like, when you start tapping, people are like, what is she doing? But if I just do this, I can do it, kind of. Or you go to the bathroom and you do the whole series too. But if you need to stay in the conversation, I'll just kind of tap it on my collarbone and say those words to myself, and it makes a difference. It makes a big difference in how I perceive what's going on. And
Oh, good. Thank you, Elise. Yes, I forget to do this for the morning sharing.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm going to do that right now.
Shoot. My phone's cross room. It's okay. I don't need.
All right. But what I will do is do this.
Neshi, share. I'll share after.
Okay. Got to find us first.
Thank you, Elise, for reminding us.
Yeah. Elise, you're so good at that. She does that almost every morning for me. All right. So I'm going to write a post and I'm going to send it over to, come on, change. We're going to send it over to the Radio Network closed group and just say, I'm live streaming. Oops. Right now. George is pulling on her.
George is chewing my seat cushion. He talks back sometimes too.
Yes, he does.
Oh.
He likes to try to get the last word in there. And then what I'm going to do is share it over to my timeline.
Hey, George. Hey, George. Come here. Everybody needs to see you. Come here. Yeah, because this is what I always
And so I'm just letting them know I'm live streaming.
This is what I always want Neshi to do when she's live streaming. Show me George. So I'm showing you guys all George because he's so cute. We had so much fun just watching him. He's so entertaining. But he's got these shark teeth that really are dangerous. Okay, we're done. They say I'm the aunt that gets him all riled up, and then I send him home.
And she did. Last night she got him all riled up, and then she was going to go to bed. That's a true aunt.
Yeah, he was afraid of her.
Oh my gosh.
That was so funny.
And Anne is just sharing that when they first arrived yesterday evening, Minnie was so excited to meet George. And she came in with Big energy.
Big energy.
Big energy. And George was afraid of her.
He ran and hid behind his ball. So I had to like pull my energy and really tight and kind of ignore him. And then he finally came over to me. But,
Yeah. It was big puppy energy. you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was kind of funny because everybody who knows Minnie is like, oh, Minnie's all love, Here's George, big energy.
What
too
was
big.
that?
Too big. Oh my gosh. Okay. So Elisa's saying, yep, date was right, but not Thursday. Okay. So today's Friday. TGIF. It's
Yeah.
not TGH, TH. All right. So Rochelle is saying, well, I decided to wait for half an hour and get my last tanning appointment. What? Okay. I'm not sure I got that, Rochelle. You're going to have to explain that a little bit. And thank you for doing that. And no show, not a program. Nope.
Oh.
Well, eventually it will be. I just haven't decided what to name it and what direction we're going to go at some point. All right. So the back side of this card, it says, don't let people or outside events determine your peace of mind. Your peace of mind. And so basically that tells me about, when we're empathic, sometimes what happens is that we pick up other people's emotions. They're not ours, and we don't really understand. I was fine just 5 minutes ago, and now why am I so angry?
Right.
Or why do I not feel happy anymore? I was just fine 5
Why am I
minutes
so
ago.
anxious or something?
Yeah. Yeah. And so as empaths, to be able to protect ourselves with our bubble, some people call it. We have a Merkaba that helps us. And so that is a reminder. It's a indicator that maybe what you need to do is check your boundaries,
I always ask, is this mine? Is this my emotion? And if it's not, then push it out.
It's not mine. And the thing is, as empaths, what we do is we shift the energy, and we can possibly shift it to a higher frequency as it passes through us. The thing is that is not to allow it to take up residence.
Right. And I found it happens a lot for me more with my husband, with someone I'm really close with, because I'm empathetic to where I feel for him, but I don't have to be him.
Yeah, that's right.
I can still have sympathy for what he's going through, or empathy, but I don't have to be in it with him, because it's not going to help if we're both in the same place,
That's right. That's right.
So we've found if one of us is in that place, the other one can help lift the vibration. So
that's a good point, because for me, peace and calming equates to being grounded and balanced. And when you have someone close to you who isn't, and they're having a moment, you can actually be there for them. You don't necessarily even have to be verbal about it.
Right.
You can just be in their energy field, and it helps to bring the frequency to a more comfortable place. You're not doing their work for them.
I've seen Neshi do this so many times. You don't know what happens before shows sometimes when, camera's not working or the audio's not, something's going on. And I start to go, oh my gosh, we're on in 2 minutes and, we're not ready. And she'll just be go, it's okay. It'll work. We'll get this figured out. We know how to, she's just so calming that it just helps me calm down when you're like, because you're so experienced that, the show will go on. Yeah. Yeah.
And we always have backups too, backup systems.
Backup plan.
And how did we get there? How did it be? By actually trial and error.
Yeah.
And so we also know that the world does not stop spinning if our audio isn't working.
Or if the show doesn't happen exactly on time.
Right, exactly. Thank you, Rochelle. She says, I'm going to listen for a half an hour and then go to my tanning appointment.
Aww.
Don't want to burn in Key Largo. Now, see, that makes so much more sense. Yeah. And so I appreciate that you're here with us for a half hour and so getting prepared for your trip, right? That's good. And Judy, good morning, Judy. So true. I need a big bubble lately. Well, we have a lot of cosmic stuff going on. We have, those planetary alignments and all this astrological stuff going on that's being really affecting a lot of people. I just read this morning that the last few days, if you weren't feeling quite yourself and didn't know why and you tried everything, we were having major solar flares.
Yeah. I think they were affecting our TV signal even before I left.
Oh, really?
So, like going on and off. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So the weather too.
Yes.
Just the way the weather has been so different and shifts and changes. That is another piece that's different.
Yeah. And so, part of the peace and calming sometimes is to be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
It also is about slowing down, and try not to multitask 3 or 4 things at a time and only maybe 2.
Yeah. Me too.
And so the peace and calming. And Minnie just reminded me something just before we hit go live, that today is International Peace Day.
International Day of Peace happens to be today, and Neshi picks the peace and calming card. We're all in sync here, but it's International Weekend of Peace. There's lots of celebrations and classes, and we didn't know that for Hogwarts class. We didn't intentionally plan it, but here we are.
Yeah. And it's on the fall equinox.
Exactly.
So that just in itself is big energy. And so, Judy, to be able to actually recognize that and say, I think I need a little bit more because it doesn't feel quite right. That's big. A lot of people don't recognize it or they dismiss it. Right. And then they try to get the peace and calming from the outside.
Right.
Rather than from the inside.
Right.
Although there's nothing wrong with a glass of wine.
Right. Or some lavender oil.
But it's so much more effective when it comes from the inside.
It's an inside job out.
Yeah. Let's see. There was something else the outside events. The backside is don't let people or outside events determine your peace of mind. Those outside events, sometimes we can't prepare for them. You're going somewhere, you're going to be at an event, and you think you're prepared for everything, and then Spirit decides that this is a good time for you to experience a time delay, or when you get there, there's problems with the audio or things like that occur. And so you have to do that application in a bigger way. It's different when you're home or in your own environment and dealing with it than to deal with it out there in the public when you are in front of a lot of people.
Yeah. On my travel trips, that happens a lot as we are international.
Yeah.
And,
it's all right.
Are we there?
Yep, we're still there.
Oh, okay. We can't see ourselves, but you guys
there you go.
Good.
There you go.
When you're in a foreign country and things like that come up. And oh my gosh, this last trip to Italy and Greece, just having my husband there as my kind of touchstone, to ground while I dealt with the issues that were going on. And that was helpful. And I texted my sisters, and so that you can get some outside support from your friends sometimes too. To get you back into that peace and calming place. Hi, Annie.
Sorry.
She got on again.
Go the other way around. To get on the floor and crawl.
Okay, so you have to know that the academy is rather puppy proofed, right? And so that's why Anne had to come around behind us, because if she would have went in front of us, and so that George isn't into the electrical wiring, they're elevated up, so he doesn't even know they're there, because he doesn't look up when he walks underneath them.
But Anne would have to do the limbo if she was going to go around that way.
We'd have to set that to music.
It's pretty fun to see the whole studio, the background, what's going on here. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, we see this just beautiful
Oh my
photo of
gosh.
Neshi, and yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, there is. There is behind the scenes.
It's like a TV studio.
And Judy is saying the worst part of it is the people in your life that are so negative with all this solar energy going haywire actually makes them worse. I just keep praying and praying for them harder and harder. What else can you do?
Right. And then you have a full moon in there too, which we've got coming up.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know,
Yeah.
but the thing is that we have tools. That we
Right.
have tools, and the prayer is one of them.
Right,
Prayer is just one of them.
right.
And to pray for them is a good thing.
And know that it's their life lesson. It's they're experiencing it for a reason,
Mm-hmm.
and they need to work through it, and just step back and let them do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And when you're saying the prayers, it's okay to say a prayer for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You can talk to your spiritual team and ask for clarity. Why am I experiencing this? What am I supposed to get out of this? You know, what am I supposed to be doing something with this right now? Or you could be asking them to show me how to better deal with this. So I have so it's more comfortable. I still want to learn the life lesson. We still have to do that, but it can be in a more comfortable way.
Mhm.
And so they can help us. They can show us. They can send us signs and symbols. And
Is there an easier way for me to learn this?
yeah,
Please.
Yep. And sometimes
Gentler, easier and gentler. I
and
like
sometimes what happens is the person that or people that are causing the issue, they go away.
Yeah.
You know,
You don't have to say anything. You just
yeah. Sometimes they just go away all on their own. They get a telephone call and they have to say they have to duck out, or you know. And so you're not controlling it at all. You're just being you. You're being peace and you're being calm.
And they can tune into that,
Yeah.
or they can do their own.
Right. They can change their frequency and join you, or they can do something different, which
just
usually
left off.
right, really.
Like,
well, which is actually is a good point, I think, is that you're not trying to be peace and trying to be calm. You are peace and you are calm.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a big difference.
A lot of time the breath really helps with that too.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just stopping and taking those 3 deep breaths.
Yes.
Because we don't breathe deep enough usually.
Get some
Day.
oxygen in.
Yeah, it makes everything better.
George fell asleep.
Peace and calm.
I left the lavender oil down at the house. Jackie is saying, off topic, but Minnie, did you used to be in an herb group called First Friday Friends of Herbs in Lowell?
Yes, I did, Jackie. Were you? Oh, your last name looks very familiar to me. Yes, with Julie Guinness Peak and Marjorie Morrison and Paula Bloom. Yes.
Small world.
Way
eh?
back.
Small world.
20 years ago. Yeah,
Oh, really?
probably.
Wow.
Probably.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so Rochelle's saying, well, leaving now. The tanning booth is waiting.
Have fun.
Yep. Namaste. Have a great weekend. Leaving Monday morning.
Thanks for joining us.
Have a wonderful trip, Rochelle. And take lots of pictures and share your joy with us. Okay. All right. Have a good trip. Have a good time down there. Elise says, I wish you were on the train right now. Makes me sad.
Aww.
Well, Elise, you know what? You're still going to be here with us, just in spirit, right? Because it's all in divine timing. All in divine timing.
Right.
You'll be here one day, even if it's just for a visit. Of course, anybody who comes here, we end up doing something.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's meditations or we end up doing some sort
Drumming.
of drumming.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could treat it as a class if you wanted to, but yeah, all in divine timing. You'll be here. Jackie, I thought I recognized you. Was your hair the same back
No.
then? No?
No, it was probably a lot darker and shorter and
Really?
and bigger. you know.
Hands laughing over
The
there.
glasses look bigger.
No, I don't. Yeah, 20 years ago. I don't know. Darker, definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen you in short hair.
Well, I'm saying, like hair and like black cherry color hair, probably.
I-
Huh?
No. We've known each other for a long time. I must have
Yeah.
just missed that.
Yeah. Started growing out. Well,
Huh.
Friends was before we met. Yeah. So it
Oh.
might have been longer than 20 years.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, let's see. What time is it? Actually, what we're going to be doing here after the live stream is we're going to be preparing the classroom and getting things situated for the students who'll be showing up tomorrow morning. And so when we do that kind of work in the preparation, our thoughts and our feelings are monitored very closely because we want to embed a certain intention as we're doing the cleaning and as we're doing.
Right.
So the preparation, the class actually started a long time ago.
When we started talking about it, yeah.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're really creating sacred space
Mm-hmm.
to hold, for me, I always just bless the space and hold it for the highest learning of whoever is attending,
Mm-hmm.
that we may be the channel to teach what's important for them to experience.
Right.
If we can facilitate that in any way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And we also work with the guardians of the space, of the land, and we work closely with our spiritual teams. And so that when it comes time to teach certain aspects, what I always do, I usually do this in the morning, is when I have my conversations with them, is I ask for whoever is able to step forward to help me with delivering the message.
Right.
Right. Delivering the
Mhm.
message.
And the topic today is this. And, but sometimes things go off topic because they need to.
Because they need to. And it's helpful. It's very helpful when you can stay peaceful and you can stay calm and you can stay centered and grounded. And so we do our own meditations. We do our own work before we even start the class so that we can be there in that space. Right. Yep. So outside events and peace of mind. I was wondering, those in the chat room, do you have a favorite way or a technique that you use to bring peace and calm when you are in those situations, right? When they're not really being peace and calming. Yep. Hey, Madonna's here. Hello. Good morning, Madonna. So glad you're here with us. Elise is saying, I have to go. Mary is having an issue. Love you both so, and I wish I could be there. Getting old. Need that drum class in the spring. All right, we'll plan with those. And say hello to Mary Ann for us, okay? Have a good rest of the day, Elise. Yeah.
Thanks, Elise.
Yeah. And so with peace and calming, we all have our own techniques, right?
Yeah.
And do you have one?
I have prayers for me. That's what I do.
I don't know if you heard that. She said she has prayers. Prayers work for her. Yeah, and I like the deep breath too, because usually when we're going through a situation that's uncomfortable, what we end up doing is getting tight.
And we breathe just from way up high.
Or we gasp.
Right. So that deep abdomen where you push your stomach out and you inhale is really good.
Yeah. Breathe in peace. Breathe out calm.
There we go.
Yeah. There must, and I bet you anything, if you Googled International Peace Today, you probably don't even have to Google it. You probably just have to go on Facebook and scroll a little bit, and you're going to be finding
International Peace Day.
And I do believe the energy for today is all about that peace. Because when you're peaceful, you're also calm. I think those are the two things that kind of go hand in hand, right? Like a hand in a glove. Yeah, peace. And so, when you're experiencing how your day is unfolding, the energy that's flowing to you and around you, is just notice. Notice if you have the energy of peace, the energy of calm. And if you don't, you have your tools. I'm looking at the names in the chat. I know for a fact that many, many of those people already have a way to be able to get to that peace and that calm and to apply it. Yeah.
Right. I think it's a lot about our emotional reactions
Mhm.
to events that happen. And for me, if I can find the gem in the event, like, if I can find the golden, like, okay, this is happening. Or even like the other day, I was at a wedding. It was 95 degrees. We were sweating to death, but it's like, hey, but it's not pouring down rain,
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm uncomfortable. I'm getting a little cranky. But if it was a thunderstorm and we're in an outdoor wedding venue, that would have been disaster. So,
Mhm.
they still had beautiful photos. We had a beautiful wedding. We were only outside for 20 minutes and then we got to come in. So, looking at the positive flip, if you can do the positive
Oh, that's a
flip,
good one.
that helps you stay in that more centered place for me.
Mhm. That's a good one.
Yeah.
And also to remind yourself that it's not about you in that moment.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
about the bride and the groom.
Exactly.
You
And
know?
a beautiful day. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Now there was, as you were talking, I was thinking, and now it just slipped my mind. But Judy is saying that prayers for me also, quiet time by myself, and listening to you beautiful women calm me and help me tremendously. Aw. Well, I'm glad we're able to
So
help you with
sweet.
that, Um,
Yeah.
yeah. And the fact that we get to spend time with each other almost every morning, right?
Mhm.
Well, just about every day. I have to stop calling it morning because
Sometimes it isn't.
sometimes it isn't.
Yeah.
And like I said, that it's sometimes it's much easier to do the peace and calming in your own environment, your own home and home situation. It's a little bit different when you're out there in the world, right? But when you were talking about the emotional piece, what I think it's our inner child that responds in that emotional way because we're that part of us um, wants it to be safe and stable and loving, nurturing.
Mhm.
And when it's not, is how we do the reaction.
Right.
And sometimes depending on how serious the event or the situation is that old coping skills pop out that no longer help or serve you and don't make the situation better. But if you can, that's what I meant about be kind to yourself.
Mhm.
Nurture yourself. It's that aspect of you that is needing some attention.
Right. It's
Right.
kind of adulting that inner child. It's
Mhm.
being the calm adult that says everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
You're going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
No one's going to die.
No.
Today.
Yeah, right. Like when we were talking about the shows and the audio issues, and really, when you're live streaming, and I help all the show hosts with this is like, it's okay. It's all right. It's okay if we're even 5 minutes late. We'll put a message out there. We're working on it. We'll be with you as soon as we can. And it's okay. It's that soothing, it's going to be all right. Because everybody wants to do the very best for our audience and present the very best that they can. And when they can't, it's that inner child that really needs to be loved and hugged and say, it's going to be all right. We're going to figure this out. It's going to be all right. And not only that, the world's not going to stop spinning. And in this situation, there's no blood.
Right.
So, it's not the end of the world. Although, in our community, that takes on a whole different aspect. Because we're shifting energies, right? We're shifting from the fourth to the fifth. Most of us spend very little time in the third D world,
Yeah.
and we spend much more time in the fourth. So, and Carl Franklin would say about this being in the fourth dimension is
Mhm.
that the fourth dimension is not a calm place.
Mm.
That it's the shifting out of the third into the fourth, and learning. I shouldn't say that. Remembering how to hold the energy of the fourth dimension. And he says that's why we see all this chaos happening out there in the world, is because people are not in the frequency.
Right. They're shifting from one level to the other, and there's always chaos before the calm.
Mm-hmm. And in order for the complete shift to happen, truth has to be revealed.
Mm-hmm.
And so when truth is being revealed, sometimes it is, it shakes things up.
Disruptive.
Yeah.
The old norms are.
That's a good word for that, disruptive.
Yeah.
Because really that's what's happening. We're disrupting an old cycle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anne's laughing over there. So we can be calm and peaceful disruptors.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have to enter the fray. We don't have to be, we can be in the eye of the storm.
Mm-hmm.
And be that calm centered place.
Right.
And watching as you're witnessing everything swirling around you, you know. Yeah.
Right. Well, it helps to understand it instead of react to it.
Yes. Rochelle Ashley's in the house. Good morning, Rochelle. I'm so glad you could join us. Rochelle and I go way back. State work. We work together for the state of Wisconsin. And Rochelle, congratulations to you. She retired in August, at the end of August, and she got those whole golden handcuffs off.
Golden.
That's what we used to call it.
When you work for the state?
Mhm.
Okay.
Because you're there, because, you know, after, at a certain point, it's no longer a challenge. It's kind of rote.
Mm-hmm.
But you're there for so long that you have to hang in there for the retirement.
I see.
You know, and those are the golden handcuffs. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm sure Rochelle will respond to that one a little bit. Jan Jacobs, good morning. Good morning,
Hi.
Jan. How are you? It's so good to see you in the chat room. You know this is what I love about the morning live streams, Minnie, is that we get to hang out for a little while together.
People
you know,
just
bring
show
your
up.
coffee, bring your tea,
Yeah.
and join in the spiritual conversation. Right.
I'm usually just scrolling through Facebook and Neshi's talking live. Yeah. And you just like pop in like you know, just little neighborhood chat.
Yeah. You know, hang out for a little bit, add your 2 cents to the conversation. Yeah. And when you have to go to your tanning appointment, you know, you just say, have a good weekend. And you head off for your appointment. Rochelle is going to have such a good time on her trip. And if I remember right, it's for a wedding. If I remember right, it's for a wedding. Hope she has a good time. And so for those who just showed up, we're going to show you the card that was drawn today. Deep within me is a solid core of peace and calm. Of peace and calm. Backside, don't let people or outside events determine your peace of mind. Your peace of mind.
I love the photo on that too. Is that a dove in the water?
Oh yeah.
You know, we just did that show on water on.
Oh yeah. On Wednesday.
Wednesday. You know, and about the calm water.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that calm emotion.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good visual for peace and calming.
Yes.
Too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, I have to say that I've been actually told that you never get flustered. You're always so
Shit, she's grounded girl here.
I do get flustered.
She does, but she still keeps her.
You know, I have the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the feelings in that moment, and it's like, okay, what really needs to be done here? And I'm talking to my team.
Mm-hmm.
What's really going on? What do I need to do next? Because in this moment, my inner child is screaming.
Right.
It's like,
stuff going on behind the scenes we don't see.
Yeah, it happens.
Everyone has it.
You know, everybody has it.
Yeah.
And that's what I meant about we all have our tools. We all have a way to be able to get to that point of peace and calm. It's remembering to use them. And sometimes you do have to reach out. and to
Mhm.
a good friend, to a sister, and say, I need to vent,
This is happening, and yeah.
and so that they remind you, okay, so did breathe,
Mhm.
get grounded,
Gotten your aromatherapy oil
right,
right?
really, peace and
Yeah.
calming,
Yeah.
you know,
Get outside, take
you're
your
right,
shoes off,
right, mm-hmm.
go stand on the grass. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, we know these things, but sometimes we just need a little reminder. Because when you're in that moment and your inner child is the one who's is freaking out.
Having the tantrum. Yeah.
when that inner child's freaking out, is to be able to express the feelings, don't repress them, express them as
Mhm.
healthy as you can,
Mhm.
and then use your tools. What's that one word? The phrase is use your words. Use
Yes,
your words.
yes, instead of your action.
Jan says, great, I've also gotten rid of those golden handcuffs. Yay! Good for you, Jan.
Wow.
Good for you, Jan. That's good stuff. Yeah, we're all getting to that age, aren't we?
We are where we get to choose our next
Experience.
experience in life. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot. It feels like we have a lot more choice.
Yes, it does.
You know.
It does. So I just want to check the time here. So, what I usually say almost every morning, every day when we do the live streams is that anything that was said today that resonated with you, yay, grab it, embrace it, and watch how the day unfolds for you and how you can use that or be the witness to it. Because I really believe either way, you're learning something.
Mm-hmm.
You're learning something.
Mm-hmm.
And if it didn't resonate with you, that's okay too. You can just let it lie. Or maybe you can be a messenger and somebody who would either enjoy the conversation, because it's going to be recorded as soon as we end the live stream, it's recorded. You can share the link with somebody who you feel that might benefit from it or is looking for the information, and just be the messenger, right? That's a big deal. You might not think it is, but it is a big deal. Yeah. And while Minnie is sitting here, I want to ask her if you have anything that you want to share about what you're doing that you would like people to know about.
Mm-hmm.
The forest therapy stuff.
Yeah. Well, for peace and calming, forest therapy will get you there very, very quickly. Although in forest therapy, we move very slowly to get there. But we call it in forest therapy, we call it dropping in. When you drop into that nature connection, you drop into that core of peace and calming, and they go hand in hand. And so I will be leading another forest therapy walk at the Leek Grove in Portland, Michigan in October. I haven't picked the date yet. I think it'll be more the end of October for, kind of a fall color forest therapy experience. I don't like to say walk because we really don't walk very far. We wander and slow down and sit, and it's really quite easy. Even if you have any challenges walking, you can always bring a chair. I say you can just do a sitting forest therapy very very well. So look for the end of October. I'll be making an events page for it on Facebook.
Oh, good.
So,
excellent.
And it might be the last one of the year, although I've had people asking to do one in the snow in the winter. So we'll see. Maybe at my house where we can have a big bonfire and come back to the fire.
Yeah.
After
hot chocolate
after each experience. Yeah. So I'm really experimenting with that idea, because you want to keep really comfortable and in a place of pleasure for your forest therapy walk, and shivering and freezing can take you out of it really fast. So, but we layer on blankets and
I was going to say dress for the occasion.
And I'll work with the nature spirits and get a nice day too. We'll see.
Yeah.
But
that's good. That's excellent. So, and then the two of us, we have the class coming up this weekend, the Magic of Hogwarts. And then after that, the weekend of October 5th and 6th, those are the dates, the healing, she's changing the title of it. That's why I'm kind of pausing, is we're working with the chakras. Polly Jola Bay is going to be here from Massachusetts, and we're going to be working on the heart chakra. And she is going to be leading healing meditations. And she's also got, I think it's 8, well, actually 7 now, openings for a private session with her on Friday and on Monday. And so that's coming up very quickly. And as you know, people want drumming workshops. I was going to do one here in the fall at the end of October, beginning of November, but Paul's going to be on an elk hunt. And yeah, so we're probably not going to do a drum making until spring. Yeah, because I can only be in so many places at one time.
I'd love to get her to Michigan to do one out of my barn, but we haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that one
We'll
out.
see.
We'll see. And so anyway, that's coming up. And for shows that are coming up, let's see, we have on Tuesday, of course, Polly Jo has her show Chakra Sessions at noon Eastern time on Tuesday, and Communications from Home, which is my weekly show, at 8 p.m. Eastern. And we're doing the Unity Breath Meditation. It's an ancient meditation about loving Grandmother Earth and Grandfather Sky, about unity. And then the Thursday is Elder Day here on Star Nations. Connie Shearwater will be having her show in the morning at 10:30 Eastern, and that is Spiritual Life. The Mysteries of Spiritual Life. That's it. And let me tell you, whenever we have the Elders Day, I get to produce them, so I get front row seat. But I also have my pad of paper and a pen with me, because there's always been something that they have said that is an aha for me, and so I write it down, right? And so that evening on Thursday is the Mystery School with Carl and Ortune Franklin, and for those of you who know those two, you know there's always something that they're going to be talking about that is inspiring. So those are the shows that are coming up on Star Nation's live stream shows, and if you can make them, that's great. That's great. And with that, let's see, we're going to catch the last bits of the chat here. Judy is saying, watching you two ladies this morning was like medicine for me. You made me laugh. My day is starting good. Bless you. Well, you're welcome.
Thanks,
You're welcome.
Judy.
Yeah. And with that, enjoy the rest of your Friday. Yeah.
We're gonna have a great time.
Yeah, we are. We are. And so the next live stream will be Monday, probably in the afternoon, because I'm not going to be able to do this weekend. I'll be teaching.
I got her busy.
So enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday. And that would be Bama Mina. That's Potawatomi for until we see each other again. Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Love you guys.